Rubin be excused, Mr. Chernoff?
Yes.
Mr. Walgren?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rubin, I want to thank you for your testimony. Sir, please don't discuss your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witnesses until the trial is concluded. You may step down. You are excused, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I see counsel? Thank you. Mr. Chernoff, please call your next witness.
Defense calls Randy Phillips.
Ladies and gentlemen, because of our schedule, in an effort to try to make up a little time, I've suggested to counsel that we take a break at 11:30 for lunch, 11:30 to 1. That means you, because I'm sure the luncheon arrangements are not finalized right now. You may have to wait a little while to get the lunch on this end, but I know how quickly you eat. So if we're going to be in recess till 1, I'm sure we could be having you eat at 12:55 and you'd be ready because you're just remarkably prompt at eating. But would that be all right with your schedule? Yes, sir. We break at 11:30 and come back at 1? Alternate 1? Sure. Do any of you have to use the facilities for a few moments? I always invite you, so go ahead. Alternate number 1. Carefully, please. Thank you. I'm advised. Lunch is already here. Don't tell alternate number 1 when she comes back. I did a little note, a little post-it. Mr. Phillips, you can just have a seat for a moment rather than be standing. Thank you. We're just waiting for a juror to come back. I didn't mean to be rude, sir. So just give us a few moments.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Alternate 1 has returned. I don't want to keep secrets from you, alternate number 1. I told the other jurors that lunch is here. All right. Mr. Phillips can be sworn, Mrs. Benson.
Mr. Phillips, will you please rise and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated. Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
Brandon Keith Phillips.
Spell your first name, please.
Brandon.
Spell your last name, please.
Phillips.
Mr. Phillips, good morning.
Good
Let
morning.
me provide you with introductory instructions that I give to every witness in every case. Firstly, please sit back and relax. Secondly, please speak loudly. Thirdly, please answer questions yes or no if called upon, rather than using slang like which can be tricky. And lastly, please wait until you hear an entire question before you even start to respond. In this way, even though we think we may know what the question asks, we are certain and we avoid having people talk over each other. Is all of that okay?
Yes.
Thank you. This will be direct examination. Mr. Chernoff.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Phillips, what do you do for a living?
I am the president and chief executive officer of a company known as AEG Live.
AEG Live is a subsidiary,
It's a subsidiary or division of AEG,
and AEG is what?
the parent company,
Okay. And AEG, the company, stands for what?
the Anschutz Entertainment Group.
All right, and what does the Anschutz Entertainment Group do?
To
make money. What is it?
The parent
Yes, the
company.
parent company. Uh-huh.
We have a number of different divisions. We own sports teams. We have a concert company. We built the Staples Center and own and operated a number of other venues, the O2 in London. So basically, we're in the sports and facilities management and operations building. business.
And one of the facilities that's owned by AEG is the O2 Arena in London.
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit about the O2 Arena in London. How many its seats, what types of entertainment venue it is, what types of shows can be put on there.
Okay. It is an arena similar in size to Staples Center in Los Angeles, meaning it'll hold anywhere from 15,000 to, well, it can be cut down to even as low as 8,000 people. But it'll go from 8,000 to 16,500, 17,000 people, depending on the size of the production of the event that would be in there. For a sporting event, it could be a little more because you would be selling in the round.
All right, and under those circumstances, you push it up to about 25,000?
No, it's not that big.
How big?
I think max capacity in that building is probably around 19 or 20.
How long has AEG owned or owned the O2 Arena?
To the best of my recollection, we opened it in 2005 or 2006.
All right. And when you say opened it was built during that period?
It was built prior to that.
All right. Now let's talk about your involvement with you said you were chief CEO of AEG Live.
Correct.
And that is a subsidiary of AEG.
That is correct. I'm not sure what the classification is, but it is part of AEG.
All right. What is it? How long have you been CEO of this particular division?
9.5 years or so.
And what is it that what are your responsibilities as CEO? What do you do?
What I do is I'm responsible for our yearly P&L, which is the profit and loss statement for the division. My job is to not only book talent for world tours, but also to make sure that our regional offices function properly, meet their budgets, meet their numbers. Same thing with our festival division. These all report to me.
AEG Live is situated in Los Angeles, California?
Its headquarters is here, yes.
All right. You noted that part of what you do is to bring in talent, bring in shows. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. And in fact, AEG Live makes its money from producing or producing these shows.
We tend to feel that our business is the presentation of the greatest artists and the best talent in the appropriate venue for them, yes.
And that's what you've been doing for 9.5 years personally?
That is correct.
Providing the greatest artists and best talent?
To our specification, yes.
Can you give us some examples, please?
Bon Jovi, Justin Timberlake, artists of that stature, Usher.
All right. Now, you had mentioned that AEG also owns the Staples Arena?
Staples Center, yes.
Center? Sorry. Any other arenas?
We operate, yes, we're on Kansas City, the Sprint Center. There's a different designation between venues we own versus venues we operate, and then in the venues we own and operate. We operate a number, in our facilities division, we manage a number of arenas around the world.
All right. And generally speaking, would it be fair to say that you would prefer to book these shows in the arenas that you either own or manage? Is that what you attempt to do?
Well, the question's a little vague for me.
All right. Well, let me ask you.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. When you book shows, when you produce and promote shows, do you attempt to arrange for those shows to be the venues to be the arenas that you own? Was that your first choice?
Well, we couldn't do a tour just in venues that we own or operate, so we tend to play the appropriate venue when we're booking a tour. If it happens to be one of our venues, which in London would be because the O2 is the preeminent venue in London, just as the Sprint Center is in Kansas City and Staples Center is in Los Angeles, if you're going to play indoors, yes, we would. But we do shows in many third-party venues all around the world that we don't own, don't operate.
And as I understand what your testimony is, many of these shows are world tours.
That is correct.
Right? Now, there are some shows that you promote and produce that are in one venue only. Is that right?
Correct. Mostly in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. And did you have any? What about the O2 Arena? Is that one of the arenas that you have that you often book for a series of shows?
Well, London is probably the greatest concert market in the world, bigger than both New York and Toronto combined. So when we go to London, generally an artist, if they're very hot, we'll end up playing multiple nights